Thank you so much, Rabbi Levine. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening. Minhagim and customs that we have coming up to Passover is that of drinking the 4 cups of wine. You know, you don't have to negotiate with us and twist our arms that hard to enjoy the 4 glasses of wine that correspond to the 4 languages of freedom. The question is about these 4 languages that possibly one does not belong. The first language is I will take you out. Of course, I'll remove you from Egypt. I'll remove you from the bondage that you're in under the domain of the evil king Paro. Okay, that makes sense. I will save you. Vihitzalti, I will save you. I'll save you from the slavery and from the torment and the torture of this evil king Paro. That also makes sense. Vigoalti, I'll free you, redeem you, total redemption. Complete and total freedom, beautiful. That also makes sense. The 4th language of freedom is very troublesome. V'lakachti, and I will take you. I will take you? If you're being taken, you're being further subjected to another ruler. Now, the ruler is God, the ruler is Hashem, so he's more benevolent. He's not the tyrant Paro. But you are being taken under a certain subordination. Question number 1. Question number 2. We put our gut to test over the next week and a half. We subject our gut to poor man's bread. You know, a good spin on sawdust, if you may. It's cardboard, another piece of cardboard, another piece, and finally we allow the cardboard to digest itself. And in fact, the matzah, cracker, is meant to digest very slowly because slaves are not there to take, breaks. So Paro wanted to keep them, without lunch breaks as long as possible and sustain. So it took a long time for the metabolism to break down this bread, and we eat it during this week, where we celebrate freedom. Why are we eating poor man's bread, bread of affliction, bread of slavery during this week? One of the famous Hasidic rabbis, the Ishpitzer, compares us to chickens. Not because we're scared, but because a chicken lays an egg. And there is the egg. Is the egg a chick? Is the egg alive? Not at all. The life of the egg decides on how long the mother sits on that egg. If the mother fails to sit on the egg, it's scrambled eggs. It's breakfast. It's not a chicken. The mother has to sit on the egg, incubate the egg, warm the egg, and do what chickens do to eggs. Make other hens and so on. The Jews of Israel were born during the exodus of Egypt. We were laid. We didn't have our essence. We don't yet have our souls until we get the Torah on Mount Sinai, where God introduced himself to us and he said, I am God, your Lord, that redeemed you from Egypt. If he redeemed a sorrow-beaten nation, then he deserves to also be served by that same nation in a nice way. So we celebrate our freedom by eating crackers of slavery, because we go from being slaves to Paro to being slaves to Hashem. Slaves to Hashem, our God. Yet, we're still not free. It could be that we're happy as slaves, but we're still slaves. There's a very famous question asked by one of the commentaries on the Torah, Rabbi Rabbi. He asks, the nature of a slave, the nature of a servant, is he wants to escape, wants to be free. He doesn't want to be under the domain of his master. Why is it that we don't look to shirk and throw off our mitzvos, our commandments, our 613 chains? We don't see them as chains. We see them as, liberation. Why is that so? The answer is because ultimate freedom is serving God. It's service. It is a service, and we are servants, but it's the ultimate freedom. You see, the Kuzari in his 5th parak. We all know the Kuzari is a discussion. It's a book between a king having a discussion with a wise man. And his discussion is, he's searching for clarity, he's searching for guidance, and he asks and he says, why is it that you don't run away from your God? You serve him, and you willingly look for opportunities to serve him. Why is that so? So he says, let's think. Take any master, the happiest master and the happiest servant, the most perfect servant-master relationship. How does that work? Why is it so perfectly gelled? Well, the master's so happy. Why? Because the servant makes his coffee and gives him his paper just the way he wants it. Okay. What happens if the master changes the way he likes his coffee? He doesn't want it with double sugar, double milk. Today I want it black. He changes his mind. Okay. God doesn't change his mind. He tells us up front, 613 ways, and they don't budge. It's written down. It's clear as day. It's been here since day one of creation, and it's never going to change. 2, this master that you're serving is happy because you're giving him what he needs. God needs nothing. So we are here to serve a God that loves us, a God that cares for us, that needs nothing, and service is we already know what he needs, and it's not going to budge, it's not going to change. The Jews of communist Russia were forced to work on the holiest day of the year, Yom Kippur. And they came stumbling at the last hours of the day to the synagogue. And what's the rabbi going to say? They put down their bags, they're torn, they're broken, they feel so helpless, so lonely. What's the rabbi going to say to inspire them? He says, I had an argument between 2 neighbors about a chicken coop. Chicken coop was in the middle. This neighbor said, the chicken coop is mine. This one said, it's mine. So what did the wise rabbi do? He took the chicken out of the coop and he put it down on the floor. Immediately a beeline to one of the neighbors. And of course the rabbi said, sir, sorry, the chicken belongs to him. The rabbi continued to say to his dear friends, as long as we're under the domain of the Tsar, under communist regime, we can't make decisions for ourselves. We're slaves. We must do exactly as we're told. But the second we're free, the second we have opportunity to choose, to throw off our shackles, where do we run? We run to the shul. We run to our synagogue. We run here for freedom. They began to pray. They began to daven. We're going into the holiday where we're looking to remove our shackles, remove the things that confine us. Everyone has in their lives certain things that limit them. This is the week where we eat our bread of slavery, which is really bread of freedom. Connect ourselves through Torah to the Creator of the world. We should all be free and have a kosher Pesach. Wow.